Thank you, Chairman Hill. And before I speak, I also would like to offer my condolences to the family of Representative Sylvester Turner on the surprising news that we all heard this morning. So wanted to start with that. And I want to thank Chairman Hill for considering my bipartisan legislation, H.R. 910, the Taiwan Non-Discrimination Act. And I also want to thank my colleague, Representative Green of Texas, for co-leading this bill with me. Mr. Chairman, long-standing U.S. policy towards Taiwan has supported its membership in international organizations where statehood is not a prerequisite. The United States also advocates for Taiwan's voice to be heard where membership is not possible. This principle has endured for decades across the Republican and the Democratic administrations, and it has repeatedly been reaffirmed in bills passed by this Congress. My bill is straightforward. It requires the Treasury Department to implement our Taiwan policy at the International Monetary Fund, or IMF. As the legislation makes it clear, Taiwan is not required to be a member of the United Nations to gain membership in the IMF. In fact, Kosovo, also not a UN member, has belonged to the IMF for over a decade. If Taiwan seeks admission to the IMF, Treasury should carry out the U.S. policy by supporting its application. My bill urges the IMF to integrate Taiwan into its regular economic monitoring activities and provide Taiwanese nationals with equal employment opportunities and other appropriate technical assistance. This is long overdue for Taiwan. The IMF is devoted to monetary cooperation, exchange rate stability, and the growth of international trade. It is absurd for the institution to exclude an economic powerhouse like Taiwan. Taiwan is one of our top 10 trading partners, and it has the 5th largest reserves of any foreign country, which is greater than Brazil, South Korea, Mexico, or any European country except Switzerland. Alongside Korea, Taiwan is also one of the world's most astonishing economic growth stories. So why wouldn't we want its experiences to inform the work of the IMF? At a time when China has been threatening the work of the IMF through its non-transparent lending abroad and its lack of cooperation with other creditors, we must focus the fund on effective international cooperation. That means openness toward potential members like Taiwan that can make significant contributions to the IMF's mission. Mr. Chairman, let me also add one more point. Advocating for Taiwan's membership in the IMF will unlock additional opportunities for the inclusion in other international financial institutions. The World Bank, for instance, requires countries to be first members of the IMF. And in the Senate, the Foreign Relations Committee has expressed bipartisan support for Taiwan's membership at the Inter-American Development Bank. This, too, would be made possible after Taiwan joins the IMF. So my legislation is not just about Taiwan's voice at the fund, but potentially its broader involvement in the international financial institutions. So again, I want to thank the chairman and the committee for considering this Taiwan Non-Discrimination Act, and I urge my colleagues to support this bill. With that, I yield back the balance of my time.